Welcome to You Think. Ever wonder how we got so darn clever? Or how we keep coming up with new ideas? From Mesopotamia's dusty plains to artificial intelligence outsmarting us in 2025, history is full of explosive eras, sudden surges of invention that reshape the world over a generation or two, then quiet pauses where we catch our breath before the next big leap. In the past, just as today, big ideas reshaped lives and societies, spreading quickly in regional areas, sometimes racing across borders, and sometimes hindered by geographical obstacles. Today, artificial intelligence, clean energy and bioengineering are, well, rewriting the rules, and it's moving at breakneck speed. Bet that sounds wild, right? We've conquered these leaps before, and we'll do it again, perhaps living longer than we ever dreamed. Grab a snack, settle in, and let's explore how we got smart and what's next. Picture 3500 BCE in Mesopotamia. Sumerians invented the wheel, irrigation, and cuneiform writing. Wheels let traders haul grain across Sumer in hours, not days, doubling market sales. Farmers load carts, feeding cities like Uruk, home to 10,000 folks. Irrigation channels turned deserts into farmland, boosting crop yields. Wheat and barley fields flourish, providing sustenance to thousands. Cuneiform tracks sales, laws, and even recipes on clay tablets, birthing organized societies. In less than a generation, nomads will become city planners. Locally, trade explodes, and neighbors like Elam adopt wheels, but oceans block Egypt or China. The catch? Farmers toil longer, elites hoard wealth, and inequality creeps in. For centuries afterward, ploughs and scribes received tweaks, but no significant leaps. They rolled out cities fast, just got caught in the bureaucracy. Now, let's jump to 2600 BCE in Egypt, where the Nile hums with ambition. The Great Pyramid at Giza rises, a 481-foot marvel of ramps and precision stone-cutting showing, real engineering genius. Hieroglyphs carve laws and stories into stone, sparking literacy among scribes and priests. Sailed boats zip along the Nile, linking villages twice as fast. During the reign of 2 to 3 pharaohs, just 40 to 50 years, Egypt is a powerhouse. Pharaohs rule like gods, and scribes manage taxes. Pyramids unite communities in awe, boosting loyalty to the state. Hieroglyphs streamline record-keeping, doubling trade efficiency. Boats speed goods, feeding towns. Nubia picks up writing, but the deserts and seas kept it from spilling beyond Egypt's borders. The downside? Well, workers break their backs for scraps and scribes serve elites. For centuries after, temples grew grander, scripts sharper, but honestly there were no big leaps. It was a grand show, just not for those hauling stones. Now picture the late Roman Republic when Caesar ruled, where the engineers really steal the show. Aqueducts pipe fresh water to cities, Roman concrete builds lasting forums, and catapults, well, they hurl stones in battle. In the blink of Augustus's eye, just 3 decades, Rome's an empire humming with power. Aqueducts feed 1 million Romans, cutting disease by 1/3 and doubling farmland. Grain just pours into markets. Concrete mixed with volcanic ash shapes massive forums and 250,000 miles of roads, linking Europe to North Africa. Traders zip goods like wine twice as fast, boosting wealth. Catapults and ballistae made Rome's armies feared, and Gaul fell fast. Streets thumped with trade, bathhouses steamed, markets overflowed with silver and sweat. A generation later, Gaul got aqueducts, Rome's gift that kept on giving, and Egypt copied the paving, but only for roads, not rivers. But seas stayed empty, no ship cracks Asia's shores just yet. The catch? Slaves build it all, chained and exhausted, while taxes are crushing small farmers. Concrete's legacy lasts, modern bridges and Colosseum bones, but catapults fade as gunpowder looms. For centuries after, roads get patched, laws refined, no big leaps. They paved the world, tough break for those under the stones. It's 750 CE in China's Tang dynasty, a golden age buzzing with invention. Gunpowder lights up warfare with early bombs and rockets, letting armies blast city walls to rubble. Woodblock printing churns out books, slashing costs so scholars and traders read poetry, math and Confucian texts. The compass, a magnetized needle, steers ships through storms, doubling silk trade routes. In one ambitious reign of just 20 short years, cities like Chang'an swell to 1 million, pulsing with markets. Gunpowder makes battles fiercer. Smaller armies easily topple forts, changing war's rules. Printing boosts literacy, spreading ideas like wildfire. Compasses open sea lanes, and Persia and India drown in silk overnight. By 800 CE, gunpowder reached the Middle East, reshaping their battles, while printing hits Korea fast. Europe's too far, blocked by mountains and seas, no quick routes yet. The downside? Well, wars get bloodier, with civilians caught in the crossfire. Elites hoard books, leaving peasants illiterate. Gunpowder fuels cannons for centuries, printing sticks evolving into presses. For decades after, tweaks refine both, but no new sparks fly. They set off a bright explosion of ideas. Shame the little guy never got a ticket to the show. Now, fast forward to 1450 in Europe's Renaissance. A whirlwind of creativity. Gutenberg's printing press pumps out books, cutting costs tenfold so merchants and scholars devour science, art and radical ideas. Leonardo da Vinci sketches flying machines, tanks and detailed anatomy charts, igniting engineering dreams across workshops. Oil paintings and frescoes birth vivid masterpieces like The Last Supper, filling churches with crowds that don't pray, just gawk. Within a generation, Europe woke up, reborn. Universities doubled, explorers packed ships looking for adventure. Printing boosted literacy, and suddenly peasants in England and Italy are arguing theology louder than the kings they owe rent to, sparking debates that rattle thrones. Leonardo's sketches inspire builders, though honestly most stay dreams on paper. Paintings drive art markets, enriching cities like Florence. Books spread to Germany and France fast, but wars slowed Spain's uptake, and oceans shrugged at Asia. The global ripple? Printed maps fueled explorers like Columbus, opening new worlds by 1492. The catch? Religious wars erupt. Catholics and Protestants clash violently. Early books are pricey, locking out peasants. Printing's legacy, well, it really does endure. Books continue to shape our world even now. But you know, Leonardo's gadgets mostly remain as sketches. For centuries after, presses and art keep refining, but there aren't really any big leaps. They made ideas travel quickly, and even kings become curious. Then, of course, they started bickering. Now it's 1787, and America's just a newborn nation. The Constitution sets out democracy, free speech, elections and rights for many folks. Steamboats, well, they churn along the rivers, cutting trade times in half. Early factories begin weaving cotton, you know, sparking industry while the cotton gin, born by 1793, speeds up cleaning tenfold. In one lifetime, America's become a real player. Cities like Philadelphia swell up fast. The Constitution, you see, united 13 states, letting towns elect leaders and pass local laws. Steamboats, well, they turned rivers into highways, doubling exports like wheat to Europe. Factories create jobs, growing port towns, though the cotton gin fuels slavery's spread, darkening the era. The global impact? France caught democracy fever by 1789, toppling monarchs, but oceans block Asia's view. The catch: slavery stains the dream and native lands vanish under settlers' boots. For decades after, canals and mills grew, but no massive leaps. Democracy and steamboats endure, cotton gins fade as slavery ends later. They built a nation bold. Shame not everyone got a vote. The period from 1865 to 1890 in America, right after the Civil War, is really a time of rebuilding and, well, a lot of grit. The 13th Amendment freed millions, opening up new lives and hope for some. Railroads stretched 175,000 miles, knitting cities together like never before. The modern cotton gin, humming strong, speeds up cotton cleaning tenfold, really fueling those textile mills. By the late 1870s, telephones sparked instant chats across towns, linking merchants in a way that just hadn't been possible before. It's 1879, and a fellow named Edison lit a fuse. Electricity, a real game changer that pushed us forward like warp speed in a sci-fi movie. No need for candles, no sunset curfews. Lights stayed on, brains kept firing, factories ran past dusk. This cog in the wheel accelerated us all, screaming and kicking into a future we hadn't even invented yet. In just one lifetime, cities like Chicago will triple in size, with factories absolutely roaring, railroads slash shipping times, letting goods zip from coast to coast, and expanding trade with Canada. Henry Ford's assembly lines changed production forever. His Model T Ford was available in any colour as long as it was black. If you had a Model T, you were somebody. The downside: tycoons like Vanderbilt amass fortunes while workers scrape by. Native lands vanish as rails carve west. For decades after, factories and rail lines were refined with no big leaps. Horse carriages fade like San Francisco streets flipping to trolleys and early cars. They wove a nation tight. Sadly, some got snagged in the threads. The 1945 to 1970 stretch, post-World War II, sees America rocket to the top. The GI Bill sends 8 million vets to college, doubling graduates by 1955, turning factory workers into engineers and doctors. Suburbs like Levittown, just exploded onto the scene, building 17,000 homes fast, and really giving families those affordable picket fences everyone dreamed about, but out of reach for some. Highways started to sprawl, linking over 21 million new cars by 1970, and suddenly cross-country trips were cut from days to just hours. TVs absolutely flooded homes, 60 million by 1970, beaming "I Love Lucy" and the news right into everyone's living rooms. Early computers like IBM System 360 crunched numbers for science and gave us our first moonshot, laying down digital roots while portable radios let teens blast their music on the go. By the early 70s, America is the global champ. The post-war GI Bill boosts wages, creating a new middle class, and suburbs triple home ownership, fueling those classic backyard barbecues. Highways make commuting a breeze, doubling trade with Canada, and, well, Europe copies the suburban model by 1960. TVs shape culture, driving ad revenue and globalizing American shows. Computers spark lab breakthroughs, though they're still clunky beasts. Cassettes make music portable, changing how folks groove. The catch? Inequality lingers. Redlining locks minorities out of suburbs, and Cold War fears spark bomb shelter mania. Globally, Europe adopts highways and TVs, but Asia lags behind. Computers and TVs endure, evolving fast. Suburbs stick, though sprawl brings headaches. It was a shiny new world. Shame some got stuck on the sidelines. The 1970 to 2025 era, well, you see, it really flips the world upside down. Personal computers like IBM's 1981 PC hit homes, and by 1990 office efficiency had pretty much quadrupled. The internet, publicized in 1991, connected 51% of US homes by the year 2000. Mobile phones evolved from Motorola's 1983 brick to Apple's 2007 iPhone, putting, mini computers in billions of pockets. Pagers buzzed doctors and teens in the 90s, while cassette tapes give way to CDs and then, of course, streaming. In 55 years, life's honestly unrecognizable. PCs replace typewriters, boosting productivity. Small businesses, they really thrive. The internet births e-commerce. Think one swipe credit card purchases hitting $1 trillion globally by 2012, linking markets from New York to Tokyo. Smartphones, they really drive apps like Uber, and by 2020, 90% of Americans were hooked. Pagers faded fast and, CDs just vanished into Spotify. Europe and Asia picked up new tech swiftly, but rural regions, they lagged behind. The catch? Privacy erodes, data breaches soar, and honestly, screen addiction just spikes. COVID in 2020 slows things down for a bit, but by 2025, a new spurt hits heavy. Early AI, like ChatGPT from 2022, writes code and essays, while solar panels and batteries, they slash energy costs by 20%, with each doubling powering 30% of grids. This tech spreads globally, but, inequality grows. Rural areas miss out. Old tech, like landlines and paper, just fade away. Headsets and AR glasses loom on the horizon. They rewrote life's rules. Pity not everyone got a login. It's 2025 and we're in a wild convergence zone. Old tech like gas cars and desk phones tanks, while AI, clean energy and bioengineering skyrocket, like yesterday dying, while tomorrow wakes up. AI and other tools sparked by ChatGPT in 2022 now write novels, code apps and predict diseases, cutting medical errors by 20%. Clean energy, solar panels, wind turbines and batteries powers half the world's grids, slashing coal use by 30% since 2020. Bioengineering via CRISPR since 2012 edits genes to wipe out cancers and grows lab meat, cutting farm emissions. In 25 years, cities will hum smarter. AI boosts productivity tenfold, managing traffic and hospitals. Solar grids light up Europe and Africa, though poor regions lag behind. Biotech extends lives, some say indefinitely, but high costs spark debates. Globally, AI tools spread to Japan and India, though data firewall walls slow some countries. The catch? Automation spikes unemployment, whole industries blink out, and privacy is a relic. Every click's tracked. We're at a tipping point. Smartphones fade as AR headsets come and go, leading to interfaces linking brains to the web. Old industries like oil slump, while green tech and gene labs thrive. Sound dizzying? Change isn't new. We've surfed big waves before. Mesopotamia's wheels, Rome's roads, America's railroads, the moonshot, and now AI challenges us like no other. Each spurt of past growth shook things up, left some behind but pushed us forward. Today we're tougher, smarter, ready to surf this tech tsunami. We don't know if AI will outthink us or biotech will make us immortal, but we'll adapt, just like always. No need to fear, we've got this. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the time you invested here today, subscribe and hit the bell icon for similar content from You Think. Let's all take the time to remember, the future isn't written in stone. Calm and collaboration is the way forward. Let's shape it together. Leave your comments below. They really do shape this channel. See you next time.